So I'm going to take you through a hip spin up now. So this hip spin up is just basically going to work through all different movements, and it's just going to help open up the hips before you start a session. So could be something that's good just to throw into your morning routine if you've got time for it. So all we're going to do is starting off, just going to bring a foot up to here. We're going to get this leg in extension. We're just going to get this leg in some flexion. We're going to pin this foot down here. You can just hold it here, and all we're going to do is just start getting a little bit of movement going on. So we're not really going to be staying that still throughout this. So we're going to get a little bit of movement going on here. And then all we're going to do from there is just going to bring your foot across the middle there. So that'll just sort of challenge the hip a little bit more. As you can see, start increasing the angle here. So from there again, we just move around a little bit. And all we're going to do starting off, we're just going to put your hand onto here. We're just going to start looking over the shoulder with your legs coming out here, okay? So you're just going to come into there, take some deep breaths, and into there, okay? So one of the key things throughout this is be able to breathe in each position. So just into here, just make sure you can squeeze your left glutes, just hold here. So next thing we're going to do now is just going to put your arm onto here, just hang out a little bit. You're just going to bring your hip, so you can see here, you're going to bring your hip closer to the floor here, and you're just going to sort of drop onto the side of your quad here, okay? So what we're going to try and do is keep this big toe on the ground. It's going to be here, just hang on there, and just going to hold here again. So you're going to do a couple of deep breaths. And as you do the deep breaths, you're really going to pull up through here as well, all through here. So just hang out there for a second, and when you're done, you're just going to come back to the middle. So next what we're going to do now is just start going a little bit lower here. Just hanging there for a little. So you might find getting this elbow to the floor is a little bit challenging to start with, so we're just going to get that elbow down, try and hold it there. Take a couple of deep breaths, get a little bit of movement going on, sort of noodle in and out. And then what you're going to do there is just reach over to here. Again, try and keep your toes on the floor, reach over to there. Deep breaths, move in and out a little bit, just sort of own the position. Next we're going to come up to here now. What you're going to do is just reach across over to here. So you might find it hard to get both hands at first, so just going to be there. Take a deep breath, squeeze your glute, come over to here. Just going to sit in there for a second. Breathe. And breathe, okay? So come back across to there now, okay? So what we're going to do now is just take a little break from out of the hip. So what we're going to do is just come up onto your back toe. You're going to make sure your foot's nice and straight, okay? So what we don't want is your foot turned out or anything like this. So you're going to keep your foot here. So if your foot's straight here, what we're going to be doing is coming up slightly. You're going to squeeze, you're going to come down, squeeze your glute, squeeze your quads, and you're going to try and drive your hip to the floor, okay? So into there, and then straight out, okay? So it's just, so if I go from the side angle, so we're not doing like a stretch and just holding, we're coming in, there, squeeze the glute, squeeze the quad, try and push in, and up, okay? Try and keep your head quite tall after a few. And into there, okay? So this is really going to sort of help, you know, with this hip, foot position here. So if you're doing anything like, you know, like a double leg or anything like that, and coming down, you know, you're going to need this flexion in the toe there. So one, you're getting that here, and two, we're learning how to fire the hips, you know, really open out the hips and get them forward here. So into there. Okay, so next up, what we're going to be doing now is coming up onto like the knife edge of your foot here. So you just come down into there, and all you're going to do is just noodle around a bit. You know, you're going to just breathe. And then what you're going to do is try and sink in a little bit deeper. Just trying to get this closer to the floor. Just move around a little bit here. Into there, okay? So breathe. And then back out. So next what we're going to do, so last one now, what we're going to do is a bit of flossing. So I do this from the side so you can see better. So all you're going to do then is going to come in back here, squeezing the quad and straight back, okay? So it's here and back. So we're not doing a stretch that we hold, just letting our body know we can get into this position and then we can come straight back out of it, okay? So at the moment I've got my toe pointed, I've got my head up, so this doesn't add too much tension through the system here. So if we want to just add a little bit more tension, just lift your toe up, come up to there, and then you can tuck your head as well. So this will, you know, this will add sort of more neural tension. You can see I'm sort of here. So add more neural tension. Just come into there, squeezing the quads, firing back, okay? Okay, so that's one side done. So we're just going to go through the other side now, okay? So just going to, again, start from the middle. So you might feel, oh, now this side is all nice and loose, and now this side you feel this is going to be real stiff again. So just starting off there, just noodle around a bit. You know, not really staying too still. Just make sure you can squeeze this back glute here into there, okay? So next what we're going to do, hand on here, lean back, rotating around. Deep breaths in. Okay, next, going to be hanging out on here. Going to drop your quad to the side of the floor here. Really open out the hip here. Feeling through the stomach to hip here. Breathe in, and out, okay? Once you're done to there, what we're going to do, we'll do this one first this time. So sometimes the order that you do it in doesn't really matter too much. So we just go to this side now. Like I said before, if you can't quite both get both hands over, just into there. And what we're trying to do is really push this knee out to the other direction. Head's going in one direction, really open yourself out. And we're going to come back here, I'm going to go a bit lower. So as you can see there, like I'm struggling more on this side to get my elbow down. So you might find, you know, that might be an issue for you. One side might be better than the other. You know, just keep working at it and it will improve. So you're just coming down to here, deep breaths, reaching across, so you get a little bit of movement going on. Deep breaths again. And coming out there, okay? So next we're going to come out of here now, we're coming back up onto the toe again, straight toe, just up slightly, coming in, squeeze the quads, squeeze the glute, push the hip to the floor, back up. So just here, driving in, driving up, and here, okay? So come into there, deep breaths, just squeeze the glute, and then what we're going to be doing now is coming into this knife edge position, coming down to here. So this is a position that can be quite common, you know, in jiu-jitsu and stuff. If you're doing anything like a S-mount or anything like that, you might find it quite difficult to sort of come up or actually do anything in that position. So having more range here will basically give you freedom to sort of, you know, explore more positions, more guards. So come into there, going to breathe, sink down with the hip. Take some deep breaths. Good, and once you're done there, you're going to come back up. And what we're going to do now is just go through some flossing, okay? So again, foot's going to be straight here. Just firing back, squeeze the quad into there. And through, okay? So if you wanted to challenge this a little bit more, you can bring this back leg back. So you come into a bit more of a split position. Come in there, and then you can gradually, you know, start challenging the position a little bit more. That's good. So basically this, you know, you can start adding this toe, lifting up, and by adding that tension, you're just letting your body know, like, I've got control of this position, I can get into it, there's no danger. You know, add a little bit more tension there. Keep your head down, firing through there, okay? So that's the whole routine. So if you just follow that all the way through, it should take around 10 minutes. You know, see how it feels before. You should, you know, come into sort of like squat positions or anything like that, or try out a few different guards before and after and see if it helps.